Among the most tragic results of 2021 was the return of a Brazilian enemy once thought to be resigned to the past: hunger and extreme poverty. Brazil reached its lowest level of extreme poverty in 2014, though numbers gradually began increasing from then on. But the poverty rate exploded in 2021. By April, the number of people living in extreme poverty had tripled in comparison to mid-2020. But why? Welcome to the second episode of Brazil Rewind, a mini-series recapping the stories that defined Brazil in 2021. Today, we're discussing poverty. After 2 years battling the pandemic crisis, Brazil started to feel the first long-term impacts in 2021. Social distancing and economic stress led to unemployment during the first year of the pandemic, and by the first quarter of 2021, 14.9% of the workforce were out of job. January was one of the worst months for Brazilian poverty in a decade. This coincided with the end of the government's coronavirus emergency salary program, leaving a large share of the population without any income and pushing extreme poverty rates to 12.8%. And problems piled up as the year went on. Unemployment led to a reduction in consumption, which aggravated inflation. And 2021 saw an exorbitant increase in prices of basic goods such as food, electricity, and fuel. The most nefarious consequence of this price increase is, of course, hunger. By June, over 19 million people didn't have enough food to eat, and this figure continued to climb as the year went on. In September, the 12-month inflation rate went above 10%, and at the same time, shocking headlines hit Brazil's newspapers, with poor citizens raking through trash, buying bare animal carcasses and eating wild animals to combat their hunger. In October, an often overlooked facet of poverty came to the fore. President Bolsonaro vetoed a law to supply free tampons and sanitary pads for women in need, casting a light on so-called period poverty. Cities have also been affected by rising poverty levels. Research has shown that Brazilian favelas have doubled in size since 1985 to shelter the families hit by poverty. Fighting hunger and extreme poverty in the post-pandemic period will be an enormous challenge for the country, as the trend has even cut the number of students enrolled in elementary school. If you want to keep up to date on this developing story, stick with us at Brazilian.report. Like, share and subscribe for more videos on everything Brazil.